Somewhere in a galaxy far, far away is Adam Lally playing Grand Theft Auto with Karen Reed's Lexus. As you know, if you've been following this case, Karen Reed has been acquitted for a little over a month now, and she still hasn't gotten her Lexus or her cellular device back from state police custody. And now, after reaching out to Alexas Lally and not hearing back, she's seeking the court's help. Hello, 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 and welcome back, roommates, to another titillating edition of Alexasrewm, where we are not lawyers, we are not medical professionals, and we are not law enforcement. We are just people. People who have opinions about all things going on post Karen Reed verdict, including Karen Reed asking the court to force prosecutors to return her Lexus and cell phone. Yes, just like the people wanted Buckingham Nicks back, Karen Reed too wants her property back. By the way, anybody excited for that? Because I'm like really excited. According to NBC10 Boston, a month after Karen Reed was acquitting of unaliving Officer John O'Keefe, she's now asking a judge to force prosecutors to return what is rightfully hers. Her Lexus, which was the alleged unaliving weapon, and her cell phone. A defense motion filed Monday in Norfolk Superior Court asks a judge to order the return of her 2021 Lexus LX 570 SUV. I mean, if I had pretty much a mint vehicle just chilling in state police custody with barely any miles on it, I would want that back too. Taillight or no taillight, I would still want that back too. I'm just saying. And her personal cell phone, which were seized by investigators in her unaliving case. The motion said Reed's defense team tried to negotiate the return of both items with Assistant District Attorney Adam Lally in late June after Reed's acquittal, but they have not heard back because that's his style, man. Monkey see, monkey do. They said both items are in state police custody and should be turned over immediately. Now, I'm just spitballing here, but what if the reason they've been holding on to this thing 30 plus days after the fact isn't because Lally's just lazy, doesn't want to turn it over? Maybe this is where Shannon Bagel has been squatting since he got canned from Aperture. Maybe this was part of his severance package.
Hey, mister, why are you sitting on the ground?
This is where I live, little man.
Now comes Miss Reed in the above entitled matter and respectfully moves pursuant to Superior Court Rule 61 that this honorable court order the return of all of Miss Reed's personal property, including, but not limited to, the following items. 1. The 2021 Lexus LX 570. I mean, yeah, think about all the things she could do with that Lexus if and when she gets it back. She could probably donate that thing to the Smithsonian, honestly. Or sell it back to Carvana. I mean, it's great. They pick it up for you. They cut you a check right on the spot. And I'm sure it's costing taxpayers absolutely nothing to keep that thing, that giant SUV, stored in state police custody for over 3.5 years. Unless, of course, this whole time they've been parking it up on Mars somewhere. I don't know. I am also curious, though, if she does get her vehicle back, if it'll come with an authentic, the original Trooper Paul Big Gulp spit DNA included. 2. Personal cell phone. As reason, therefore, counsel attempted to negotiate the return of the listed property with ADA Adam Lally in late June, as property is in the possession, custody, and control of the Massachusetts State Police and has not heard back. not via email, phone, or carrier pigeon. Thus, counsel is respectfully requesting this honorable court order the return of the aforementioned items immediately. Respectfully submitted by her attorney, Stephen C. Buzang. Well, that's a fun name. I mean, I don't understand any of this. One, why would anybody want to be holding on to a vehicle that has one tail light on it? Is she gonna have to go out and buy a whole new tail light? I have questions. But tail light aside, what's the purpose of holding on to her cell phone? The trial's over. She's been acquitted. You're not investigating anybody else. I mean, you've made that clear that your office stands by the fact that you believe Karen Reed is a responsible party in the unaliving of Officer John O'Keefe, and that her vehicle was the unaliving weapon. So if there's no other suspects to investigate for this crime, what's the purpose of holding on to all of her possessions? Unless Proctor's not the only one looking for nudes on her phone. Lally, give her back her Filet-O-Fish. Give her that fish. I mean, this is the same guy we're talking about who didn't feel a rush to seek 6 search warrants from the lead investigator in another case that he was going to be prosecuting and presenting in front of a grand jury to indict. So there's that. Speaking of search warrants, remember when Michael Proctor lied about when he seized Karen Reed's vehicle and her cellular device in a search warrant application? Which makes me wonder if she does have a shot at suing for unlawful seizure. So I asked the robot if it's typical for a defendant having to file a motion in order for them to get their seized property returned to them after a trial. And according to the robot, yes, essentially. In Massachusetts, law enforcement and prosecutors don't automatically return seized property after a trial, especially if there are outstanding issues related to the property, such as potential further use in appeals or future legal actions. Well, I mean, she doesn't need to appeal for anything because she has been acquitted. And the only thing currently going on is the civil case, which has nothing to do with the Norfolk County DA's office. So, again, there would be no need for them to have their grubby little meatball fingers all over them. Motions for the return of seized property are often required, and it's common for the defense to file such motions after a case concludes. But I wonder, is that after a first step is initiated where you have to also send an email? It sounds like they made some sort of contact. Her and her attorneys made some sort of contact or sent some kind of communication with Adam Lally, and he just flat out ignored it for over a month. I don't know how many times they followed up, if it was via phone, text, signal, carrier pigeon, Coldplay, kiss cam. I don't know how they got in touch with him, but is this only necessary after communication like that's been ignored? I don't know. In Karen Reed's case, the property, such as her Lexus and cell phone, is no longer needed for evidence or the investigation. She or her legal team can file the motion with a court to seek its return. A judge typically rules on these motions. Once granted, law enforcement, in this case, ADA Lally, would have to comply. So he has no choice. Again, there is no ongoing investigation. But if I were her, I'd be forwarding every single previous and future car payment to Adam Lally personally, so he can foot the bill for that. Just not answering at all. You just totally ghosted her like a bad Tinder date. Speaking of bad Tinder dates, that's a story for another day. Maybe I'll do a members only video on that. Weirdest Tinder date I've ever been on. But hey, I want to know what you guys think in the comment section below. Why do you think that the state police still have this stuff in custody? How do you think it's going to get returned back? What do you think they've been doing with it this whole time? If it's going to be the same as it ever was. Drop a comment below. I may not respond back to all of them, but I do read them or try to read all of them, and that includes even the slightly unhinged ones. So that being said, thank you so much for watching. Godspeed, Spider-Man. See you in the next one.